Welcome back. It's Kovacs Report, and we're going to take a look at the Uncanny X-Men number 15 by Gail Simone and art by David Marquez. So this is part 3 or 4 of the Dark Artery arc, and it's shaping up real good indeed. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to quickly recap on what's happening in the rest of the arc, and then we're going to get into the book and see what happens. So before I do that, please hit that subscribe button. It makes a huge difference to me and the channel. I really appreciate it. And of course, if you like the video, give it a little like. You know, takes a second and it makes a huge difference to me. So let's stop talking about that and jump straight into this. The X-Men have made Haven House in Louisiana their new home. There they have been mentoring a group of young mutants named the Outliers, but the X-Men have had their hands full dealing with the dragon Sadarang, who sought the Eye of Agamotto, currently in Gambit's possession. Now, he has warned Gambit that wearing that magical artifact would eventually curse its owner with a hunger for human flesh. Meanwhile, the Outliers, led by Death Dream, discovered a mysterious graveyard near Haven House, guarded by the menacing Man-Thing. He was protecting a door to the Penumbra, a city of the dead, with a mutant guardian of its own, Lady Henrietta, who had lured the Outliers there to take her place. And that's where we left off. So jumping into this issue, just outside New Orleans, this weird mechanical dog or cat has been activated and it's making its way to the Haven House. We jump straight back into the past, over 100 years, where Henrietta had journeyed to Haven to find a place to live, I guess, where she wouldn't be persecuted. And she's been pursued by the Sentinels, government agents of the time that hate mutants, and they want to kill her. And after a bit of a fight and killing her friend, or at least shooting her friend, some sort of the cavalry have turned up. Some of the natives of Haven have turned up, all mutants, as you can see, and they protect her, and she is now safe. Now we jump back to the present time, or I always say jump back to the present time. We jump forward to the present time, and Rogue is suffering from her fight, or rather being frozen by the dragon in the previous issue, and she realizes it was a silly mistake. She's a bit embarrassed. Anyway, she's saying, look, Remy, you know about this place. This is your place where, you know, you grew up. What's going on? And he says, right. And he starts explaining what's going on, about the fact that this house is special. You know, it's kind of like the guardhouse to this artery. And she's like, what? She's not pleased. She wants to know more. And then she realizes that the kids are actually stuck down there. Now we jump back to now. With the kids, they're in the Dark Artery, and she has decided that the kids have got to follow her down into the depths, and specifically one of these kids has to take over her job, which means he would be trapped there for however long it takes someone else taking place, or forever. And the kids don't like that. They're not happy about that, you know. But she's there guarding this door to Penumbra, which is basically where anyone who has I guess actually family members who have betrayed their mutant kind or mutant siblings, they're sent there for eternal punishment, basically. So it's not a good place. There's a lot of anger boiling in there, a lot of rage, and you know, the kids decide to go and take a look. And of course, as they're beamed into it, they get new costumes, which apparently have pulses. And apparently, it's non-negotiable. It's a dress code, a bit like some of the nightclubs around here. You know, no trainers, no entry. But anyway, they find out that this is guarded by Overlord Shovharak. I think that's how you pronounce it, the voice of darkness, which looks like a huge demonic dragon. I'm not kind of sure what it is, but it looks badass. I really like the way it looks. The art in the book is really good. Really good. Now, she says, listen, kids, it's time to make your mind up. Are you going to come further in and one of you going to guard it or not? And they want Hotoru. Now, Hotoru is this dark kid who's lived a dark life, and he's all about the darkness and the blackness. You can look him up. He's quite interesting. And I think he's basically the prime suspect, or rather the prime candidate for taking over Henrietta's job. Why she wants to get out, I don't know, actually. Maybe she has some good or bad intentions. So I'm thinking, like, why does she want to get out? You know, I mean, I guess she's been there, you know, a few hundred years. So I'd probably want to get out of there. Anyway, they venture forward, and they're not happy about it because they do not want Hotoru to take over. And then they find out really what's going on. Like I expressed earlier, it's a place for eternal regret and eternal punishment. We jump back, and Rogue, this doesn't sit well with Rogue. She does not want the kids down there, and she decides that they need to go and get them out. But, you know, they're sort of like, oh, should we, shouldn't we? But Wolverine's like, hey, What are you waiting for? Let's go. Let's mount up. Check me out in my boxer shorts, right? Which is getting a lot of love on the internet, which is strange. I have noticed on Twitter and other places, Gail Simone's getting a lot of praise for putting Wolverine in his boxer shorts or his little booty shorts. That's not part of the ruse, but I thought I'd mention it. Anyway, back to the kids. Now, this angry mob that's been brewing down there for 100 years, they sense that these kids are alive and they decide they're going to have a throwdown with them. And then we jump straight back in time again to Henrietta, where she has to make a big decision. That big decision is, after they heal her friend that was shot, who was trying to protect her from these Sentinels, whether to let these Sentinel guys live or die. But she lets them live. She shows mercy. Mercy which these dudes back in the Artery are not showing the kids, and a big fight ensues. Now, while we're there, Sophia, I think it's Sophia, Calcio, get to safety. You get to safety, I love you. And by hearing those words, it momentarily distracts her, and the baddies are all over her, and it looks like she's going down. But guess what? Man-Thing is here, and he burns these baddies out of existence, because whoever knows fears burns at the touch of the Man-Thing. And then guess what? The cavalry, the modern day cavalry's turned up. Rogue, Wolverine, and the whole gang is there to help save the kids. And they've got their new dark versions of their costumes too, looking all badass, ready to take a fight. But while that's happening, this beast has got very close to the house. Very close to the house. And while the other members of the house that haven't gone into the Artery are sitting there making some tea and coffee, I don't know, this horrible red-eyed monster is about to leap, I guess. I'm not sure what's going to happen, but it doesn't look good. And that's it. Really interesting story. Again, Gail Simone, I love your work. If you ever watch this video, please don't take this as a negative. I think what you're doing here is really, really good. It's thrilling. The art's beautiful. It's well written. I just more of a purist. I would prefer if it wasn't a bunch of new kids and it was like the X-Men. But that doesn't detract from the book, because it's really, really good. In fact, it is the star and gem of all the X books that are out there right now. And I would go as far as to say it's the only X book worth reading right now. Gail Simone is really spearheading this new launch of all the X titles, and I think she's doing an amazing job, backed up by incredible artists. I think this book is a definite must read, and those are my thoughts. So, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. Let me know if I got anything wrong, as I went through that quite quickly. And again, hit the subscribe button, give us a like, and until then, we'll see you in the next one.